Dear students, welcome to our science episodes. Today we are going to discuss water. Well, let's continue talking about water. Today we are going to discuss chemical properties of water. It has a neutral effect on litmus paper. So when it is ionized, it has equal numbers of positive hydrogen ions responsible for the acidic property and negative hydroxide ions responsible for basic property. Let's watch this video together.
So today what we'll be doing is doing something called the litmus test. Now to do the litmus test you need litmus paper, and because it's a lockdown I don't actually have any litmus paper at home, and I went to the chemist and they didn't have any either. So instead I've made litmus paper strips. Now you get red litmus paper and blue litmus paper, and I'll show you why you need both in a second. And we're going to stick to the three chemicals that we have been working with all along. Over here we have bicarbonate of soda, which has been diluted in water. We have lemon juice, which has also been slightly diluted in water. And speaking of water, here is water. So when we're testing these liquids, we need to use both the red and the blue litmus paper, as you can see over here. And the reason for that is the following. When you put blue litmus paper into a base and you pull it out, the blue litmus paper remains blue. So I was thinking of it as the three B's: blue, base, blue. Does it make any sense? The blue remained blue, therefore it is a base. Hope that makes sense. When you put the red litmus paper in and you pull it out, the red litmus paper turns blue as well. Remember, blue base. And therefore we can tell that bicarbonate of soda is in fact a base. Moving on to lemon juice. If I take the red litmus paper and put it into the lemon juice, which we know is an acid, we can see that the red litmus paper remains red, therefore it is an acid. However, if we put the blue litmus paper in, and remember the blue remained blue in a base, this time the blue litmus paper goes red, which indicates that the lemon juice here is indeed an acid. But the fun part comes when you get to water. When you take red litmus paper and put it in water, it remains red. And when you put blue litmus paper in water, it remains blue. So what does that mean? I would like you to think about that, and you can let me know either in the comments below or in your science book. Happy experimenting!
Now, what is this apparatus in front of you? This apparatus is actually a device used for water electrolysis. Water electrolysis means that we will decompose water electrically using an electric current. This is the equation for water electrolysis. Two water molecules will give us hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. This means that the hydrogen and the oxygen gas will be separated from each other by an electric current. In fact, we used acidified water. Hydrogen gas will evolve at the cathode because the hydrogen ions are positively charged, and hydrogen gas is known to burn with a pop sound, while the oxygen gas will evolve at the anode because oxygen ions are negatively charged. And if you approach the oxygen to a flame, the size of the flame will increase. Now, let us think together. The volume of the evolved gas at the cathode, which is the hydrogen, is more than the gas evolved at the anode, which is the oxygen. Why? Because the ratio of the hydrogen gas to the oxygen gas is 2 to 1. Remember that the water molecule is H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms to 1 oxygen atom. The device or the apparatus used for water electrolysis is called Hofmann's voltmeter. In this apparatus, acidified water is electrolyzed using an electric current. Hofmann voltmeter is made up of an anode and a cathode and an electric power supply. During electrolysis, we agreed that hydrogen will evolve from the cathode and the oxygen will evolve from the anode with a ratio 2:1, 2 hydrogen to 1 oxygen. If you notice, we used acidified water in Hofmann's voltmeter for electrolysis. This means that we add few drops of diluted sulfuric acid to the water during electrolysis. But why? This is simply because water is bad conductor of electricity. But when sulfuric acid will be added to the water, this will make it good conductor of electricity, so can be electrolyzed easily. Okay, let's watch this video together about water electrolysis.
Amaze your students by splitting water and dramatically illustrate stoichiometry in the law of conservation of matter with the Hofmann electrolysis demonstration apparatus available from Flynn Scientific. The Hofmann demonstration apparatus is easy to set up and is calibrated for precise and easy measurements. It has its own rugged ring stand base, a built-in thistle for easy filling, and stopcocks for easy removal of the gases generated. Attach 2 platinum electrodes to a 9-volt battery or DC power supply, and watch as oxygen immediately forms at the anode and hydrogen immediately forms at the cathode. Notice that hydrogen forms at a faster rate than oxygen, and the final volume of hydrogen gas produced is exactly double the volume of oxygen gas produced. Stoichiometry in action. Collect the gases by opening the stopcocks and allowing gas to flow into inverted test tubes for 3 to 5 seconds. Prove that you have just split water by inserting a burning splint into the hydrogen test tube. Insert a glowing splint into the oxygen test tube, and the nearly extinguished flame will spark back to life as the oxygen gas fuels its combustion. The Hofmann electrolysis demonstration apparatus is rugged enough to last for years and excite students at all grade levels. In addition to stoichiometry, use the apparatus to introduce electrochemistry, the gas laws, and water splitting as a source of hydrogen for alternative energy. Regardless of the application, your students are sure to love this demonstration available from Flynn Scientific.
Let's think about some questions and reflect on water electrolysis together. During electrolysis of acidified water, suppose the volume of evolved oxygen gas is 2 cubic centimeters. What is the volume of the evolved hydrogen gas? If we know that the ratio of the hydrogen to the oxygen is 2:1, then if the oxygen gas is 2 cubic centimeters, the hydrogen gas is the double. So 2 times 2 equals 4 cubic centimeters. Another question. During electrolysis of acidified water, the volume of evolved gas is 12 cubic centimeters, and this gas burns with a pop sound. What is the evolved gas, and what is the volume of the other evolved gas? Of course, we know that the gas that burns with a pop sound is a hydrogen. So hydrogen evolved at the cathode. If the hydrogen volume is 12 cubic centimeters, so the oxygen volume is half of it. So it will be equal to 6 cubic centimeters. Now let's talk about water pollution. What do you know about water pollution? Water pollution is the addition of any substance to the water, and this substance will cause the gradual change in water properties, and this will affect the health and the life of living organisms. We have natural pollutants like volcanic eruptions, lightning accompanying thunderstorms, and death of living organisms. While there are artificial pollutants like burning coal and oil, which leads to the formation of acidic rains, overuse of chemical insecticides and fertilizers, sewage and factories' wastes, and petroleum oil leakage in water bodies. Now let's discuss together types of water pollution. We have biological pollution, and it originates from humans and animals' wastes. It causes infection with diseases like bilharzia, typhoid, and hepatitis. The second type is chemical pollution. It comes from discharge of factories, wastes, and sewage into water. Increase in some elements concentration causes great harms like lead, which will cause the death of the brain cells of fish. Also, increase of mercury concentration in drinking water can cause blindness. The increase of arsenic in water increase the level of liver cancer. The third type is the thermal pollution, and it's the increasing of the temperature of some water areas used in cooling nuclear reactors. This will cause the death of marine creatures due to separation of dissolved oxygen from the water. The fish will not find oxygen to breathe. The fourth type is called radiant pollution, and this comes from dumping atomic wastes in oceans and seas, radioactive materials. The other cause is leakage of these materials from nuclear reactors. This causes the increase in levels of cancer disease. How can we protect water from pollution? We have to save water before it's too late. Spreading environmental awareness. We have to talk to people about water pollution, causes of water pollution, and how to protect water. We have to disinfect drinking water tanks on the roof of the buildings in a periodic manner. We have to prevent factories from discharging their wastes and sewage discharge and discharging dead animals in water bodies. Don't store tap water in plastic bottles, because plastic could react with chlorine gas used in water disinfection, increasing the levels of cancer disease. Now let's check some questions with each other. This is a Hoffman voltmeter apparatus which is used in water electrolysis. Can you write the equation representing water electrolysis? Yes. Water will be separated into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Actually, we are using diluted sulfuric acid in the apparatus. What is the volume of the evolved gas which burns with a pop sound if the volume of the other evolved gas is equal to 6 cubic centimeter? We agreed together that the gas that pops with a sound is hydrogen. So this means that the other gas, which is 6 cubic centimeter, is oxygen. Hydrogen is double the oxygen, so its volume will be equal to 12 cubic centimeter. Which gas evolves at the cathode? Here is the cathode, and hydrogen is evolving at the cathode. And hydrogen is evolving at the cathode. Which gas evolves at the anode? If hydrogen is evolving at the cathode, so oxygen evolves at the anode. Now match the following sentences with the correct answer. This is the harmful effect and this is the cause. We have death of brain cells, liver cancer, blindness. The causes could be arsenic, mercury, or lead. Death of brain cells is due to lead. Liver cancer is due to arsenic, and blindness could be caused due to mercury. Dear students, thank you for watching. See you later in other science episodes.